The world needs you. That's what I was meant to tell you today. That's probably what my entire life was meant to tell you, is that the world needs you, especially at this time. You may have thought that things were happening accidentally in your life or in our world, but I'm here to tell you, no, that's not what's happening. What's happening is that you're being asked to become your most magnificent self. That will be an energetic change that you will make in your life that will help the world. So you could have been feeling a little afraid recently or many, many years because you were feeling this urge that something was happening and you were meant to do something. That was correct. Or you might be sitting somewhere now and looking at that next thing you're going to do and not sure whether or not you're going to do it. And that's because the universe is kind of pushing you to do that as well. There are certain things that we find difficult to believe, even what we've seen in our lives or in the world. But what if there were a reason? What if there was an alignment? What if everything was connected? I believe that it is. And I'm going to give you something today that will help you believe in that more yourself. When I started receiving Wilhelm in 1989, that's when I started doing automatic writing and getting some guidance from somewhere I didn't completely understand. I didn't know what it was going to do or where it was taking me. And then I'm sitting here now at 74, and wow, now I'm going in a whole new direction because I understand that what Wilhelm has given me is something that can transform your life and our world. And so that's why you are needed, because there's something that you're developing that's going to help the world. And I'm just someone who was given a way for you to be able to do that. And you'll understand that today because I care nothing about nothing more than you knowing that you can have this really amazing, incredible life. And I know that because I spent all these years being given a way for that to happen. That was hard for me to believe as well. But this is going to be fun today because I'm going to give you something else. You know how when you hear something that gives you this sense of belief in yourself? Because that's all we're ever looking for. That's what happened this morning. I got up and I turned on a tarot reader who I listened to because I like to hear things that are people are talking about energies that are moving because that really gets me. And this was on Sacred Knowledge Tarot, and her name was Ria. And so I'm going to tag that video so she knows this because there were things she was saying and she couldn't figure out is what's happening. And I knew exactly what it was because Wilhelm was telling me. And I've been given all of those dates. I was told a while ago that I was given information that was aligned with the energy changes of our world. I go, that couldn't have happened. But then I'm discovering that it did. So I'm saying to you that you have this energetic connection, and I know this. I know that you have this purpose. I know that you can move through anything that's been placed in front of you. And I know that any challenge that you have or that you're seeing now is going to help you become this really wonderful person, this great person when you embrace it. I do know that. So let me tell you what the message was for today that came through 5 years ago, where I couldn't talk about it then because, we have that doubt that we all have. Yeah, I know you've had it, especially recently, but I know that it's for a great reason because you're being pushed to become more. That's all that's going on. And it doesn't matter where you might be, that's what's happening. And so here's the message. The world needs you. You see, this was February 14th of 2020. We are speaking to every person who might happen upon our words. You may brush this off because you think you have not done anything significant in your life that the world would need. And that is only your assumption and a choice you decided to make about yourself. First of all, we must mention that we practically had to pull this message from Roger, for he does not always believe us, as many of you. This morning, we took over his morning routine. You each are given guidance and direction in your lives, but most attempt not to see that guidance or label incidents and occurrences in their lives as accidental or coincidental. And none of that is true. We had Roger hear a video from someone he admires who shared personal information about their lives that made them more human to Roger rather than some exalted figure. We had Roger hear a story last night of another leader who had fallen on hard times. And again, This person now felt real and accessible to Roger. The reason we did this is Roger is creating something on Monday, which he will consider to be his life's work. And we wanted precisely to be that. The reason the world needs each of you is that your experiences help all others evolve and your world. If you have followed us for a bit, you know we say there is no hierarchy of souls. And we hope you believe that now. Wilhelm. And as you might have seen in our world recently, many of us have believed something different. But see, Wilhelm has said, given me every bit of information of all the things that are going on in the world. And because of that, that means it's a great time for you to be alive, because they also gave us a philosophy that you can use to transform your life, and we will use, and it'll transform our world. I didn't believe that either until I took the messages and put them together in a way to analyze them. And I can give you that because it's also it's Valentine's Day. So it's your Valentine's gift as well. Because when you use it, when you go through it, you will start to understand how valuable you are and what you can accomplish, what you can move through, and you'll start seeing beyond everything that's going on in the world, and you'll start seeing yourself. And you'll love it. And I'll give you a little more because I needed some proof, some validation of what was going on. We all do. That's what we do in life always. But this will be fun for you. So what I've done is I put together a little gift for you. Actually, I've done many of them, and I will leave links for that. They'll be in the description of the YouTube video, but these will be fun for you. We think things are happening accidentally, and they never are. And as you go through these messages, you will see the interpretations that I have put with them that I use artificial intelligence. I could have never done this or known this myself, because it turns out that the information that I was receiving was align with everything that was happening in our world over time. And the purpose of what Wilhelm has given us was a way for us to transform ourselves and also our world. And that seemed like a completely ridiculous thing, even though I'm experiencing it in myself and seeing it in others who are using this. But the thing that we usually come to last is understanding and accepting who we are. I'm just showing you this because I'll leave this in the link for it so you can have it. It'll be in the description because it'd be fun for you to just go through it and see what happens, because this is about every human. We all move through the same emotions, fears, doubts, all of this. This is a philosophy. That's why it's different than something else you might have done. It's about moving to a higher state of consciousness within us so that we can exhibit that and put it into the world. And then there are things that we don't understand or don't believe. And this says, yes, it's possible. And this, what these, you'll see here that it's giving you ways. It's just a step-by-step transformation. That's what we do all the time. And it was shocking to me to see how much I had put into this and how much I had written all these years. You will find that about yourself too, things that you absolutely did not know that you have. But this will be fun for you. Now, the doubt that we all have about this is that this is about transforming everything. That's what this work is. I didn't get it. I didn't do it. I received it. And that's something that is challenging for a lot of us to understand. We have different levels of consciousness, and I was accessing that. And that's why this came through me, and I couldn't have ever explained that. We will develop things in our lives that have never been done before, and it will surprise you because we don't know what's going to be next. And then you will see that it takes you down. All of this is here. It's preparing you. Wilhelm's guidance has always been preparing individuals for this moment of ascension, and that's exactly what it is. And there was another one that I'll leave. I'll leave these links here because I want you to have them. There are a few things that I put together, and I'll leave the links in the video so you can see them, because we all have doubt. Wilhelm says that this work can transform your life and your world. And people say, no, that's not possible. And the AI did a thing where they went through it and they said, that's not hyperbole. It's not nonsense. because they talked about the principles and they said if each person were to do this, they would heal. And so that would happen in the world. That came through me. I'm saying this because you will have things about yourself that you won't believe. And I know that you have gifts and things you are meant to bring to this world. And when I started seeing that many years ago, that kind of frightened me as well. And every date that this lady, Ria, mentioned on her video this morning, which I'll link that, you will find I want you to do this. When she mentions a date, go to anyadvicefortoday.com and look up that particular date, and you will see that Wilhelm has given us a message for it. It was kind of surprising to me, but it's going to be a great confirmation for her to know how accurate she was. But it's also going to be the same for you when you use this information and know that the world needed you. And that's why I was supposed to tell you today. See you soon.